Hello everyone, it's Melissa and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hello and welcome. For this tutorial, it is a special edition because this is a collaboration with Sparkle by Monica for the Spooky Sparkles Collab 2025. I participated in this collaboration last year. It was so much fun. Loved being inspired by all the other tutorials. So I will go ahead and link all that information down below so you can be inspired by spooky crafts, makeup ideas, and all the fun for this upcoming spooky season and Halloween. So on this tutorial, we are making a bracelet with our little jack-o'-lantern, and then of course we have to have our sparkle. So we're using some Austrian crystal with an AB. This is a light topaz. Our soft flex wire, some check glass beads, you'll need some 2x2s, some jump rings, and a clasp of your choice. I am using a lobster claw. And if any of these items are still available, I will go ahead and link them down below in the description, as well as a tutorial playlist for all other bracelet inspiration and Halloween ideas and tutorials. Before we start creating, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It'll help my little channel grow. Let's start creating. So this bracelet does look a little intricate. I'll kind of show you a little sampling of what we're making. And this tutorial is available on my YouTube channel. So we are going to need a lot of soft flex for this project. So we're going to need about 16 to 17 inches of soft flex. And don't worry if you have leftover soft flex at the end of the project, you can always save it for another project. So we have soft flex wire. And we're just going to bring in our 2x2. And this is going to be our foundation, kind of our glue that's going to keep everything nice and secure and make our bracelet connected and complete. So we're just going to grate about soft flex as it acts as a needle. So you don't have to pick up the little beads with your fingers. On the opposite side of soft flex, we're just going to pass through and create like a little X or a crisscross. And then we're just going to give it a pull. And this is going to create like our little connection point that we're going to attach our jump ring and our clasp to. So it's up to you how big or small you would like your connection point to be. We want to make sure that our strings on both sides are the same size. So these ones are not, so we're just going to make any adjustments to make sure that they are even. So once we have them even, we're just going to make sure we have the right connection point that we need. And this is also great because your soft flex wire can show in your design and you can mix and match your beads to match your soft flex wire. Now we're just going to bring in our pliers and we're just going to flatten our 2x2. And this is just giving it a squish. We want it completely flat. If you've seen any of my other tutorials on my channel, you know I like to round my 2x2. It just gives it a more professional finish, makes it look like a little bead. But for this project where our beads will be placed on the soft flex, it's okay to just flatten it. Now we're going to be doing our basic bead stringing. So to start, we're going to put one of our Austrian crystals on each side of our soft flex wire. We're going to add one of these super sparkly beads, like a metallic, and then one more of our Austrian crystal. What I like about the Austrian crystal, and depending on the beads that you use, is sometimes you can see your soft flex wire shine through. So it really elevates the design. So similar to what we did with our 2x2, we're going to kind of do a little crisscross. I'm going to pick up one of our metallic beads. Doesn't matter what side is soft flex. On the opposite side, we're just going to do a little crisscross and give it a pull. It's going to create like our little connection point. Super sparkly. So it's a real statement bracelet, and you may notice that it's going to start to curl. That's okay. This is completely normal. So it will straighten out in just a few moments. So we're just going to repeat the same thing. We're going to go ahead and add on one of our Austrian crystals, one on each side, our metallic beads, and another crystal. Sparkle, you could add some rondels in between. Just added on an Austrian crystal. Now we're just going to attach the other bead. So we're going to do a crisscross. And this project will work with any beads as long as your soft flex wire will pass through that center bead. And we're going to repeat the same thing again. So it's a really repetitive project. And you could probably make this project in about 20 minutes. So far we have 3 of our little connections. You can see it's still kind of curving just a little bit, but it is starting to straighten out. So now we're going to be adding in our jack-o'-lantern bead. So we're just doing a little different from this one. We're going to start by adding on the same amount of beads. So an Austrian crystal, our metallic and an Austrian crystal. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side of soft flex. So we have our beads added on. Now before we do our crisscross with our jack-o'-lantern, we're just going to add one more bead of the metallic on each side and our sparkle. We're going to add one side of soft flex wire to the top of the jack-o'-lantern. And on the other side of soft flex, just pass back through the opposite way and give it a pull. And this is just going to kind of nestle our jack-o'-lantern in place. And then we're just going to do the same thing that we did on this side to the other side for our project. So we're going to add on our very sparkly bicones, a metallic bead, a bicone, a metallic, and just one more a few more beads on this side because of the jack-o'-lantern size, and this is an 18 millimeter. So we have a bicone, a metallic, a bicone, a metallic, and a bicone. So now we're working on this side of our project again. So we're going to add on our metallic and do our crisscross and give it a pull. We have the start of our beautiful bracelet, and then we're just going to finish the rest of it. So we've done our crisscross. So now it's just kind of the same thing we were doing for the start of our bracelet, but in reverse. So we're going to add on our sparkle, metallic, our Austrian crystal, and then the same thing on the other side. And our crisscross. And give it a pull. And we'll just do that a few more times until we reach the desired length of our project. You can just see how sparkly that is. So now we're just going to kind of do the opposite of what we did to begin our project. We do have a lot of soft flex left over, so we're going to be sure to save that for a future project. So we're just going to add on 1 2x2 to one side of soft flex. It doesn't matter which side. On the opposite side, we're just going to do our little crisscross and give it a pull. Before we do the next step, we want to make sure that everything is nice and secure, that there's not a lot of loose spacing between your beads with your soft flex. It doesn't matter which side of soft flex, we're going to pass back through our 2x2. So we're exiting this way, we're just going to go in the opposite direction and give it a pull. And just like how we started our project, this is our connection point. So we just want to make sure that they're fairly the same size. They don't have to be perfect. You would just like them similar. And then we're just going to make sure that our spacing is correct. So just make any adjustments as needed. So once we have our spacing, we're just going to bring in our pliers and just flatten our 2x2. Just give it a good squish. Now we're just going to trim off any extra soft flex that we have. Just be careful not to trim your little connection points. So then this is the perfect length for maybe an earring or a little connector point with soft flex. Like you can make your own eye pins out of soft flex. So we've almost completed our beautiful projects. Now we're just going to bring in some jump rings and a clasp of your choice. I am using the lobster claw. And you can attach your clasp directly to your soft flex if you would like to. But I like to attach it to some jump rings just so you can adjust the size in the future if you would like or switch out your clasp. So to open your jump ring, we're just going to take our 2 pliers side to side. We're going to attach it to one part of our soft flex connection point and add on our clasp. We're going to close the opposite way, and when your jump ring closes, you should hear a slight click and you'll know it's complete. And then for this side, we can just add a few more jump rings just to kind of give it a little bit of a chain extender. You can also add like another little charm if you had a little candy corn bead, or maybe even a made with love charm if you are gifting this for the spooky season. So we're just going to attach just a few more jump rings. We add on our final jump ring. We have our beautiful sparkling bracelet made for the Spooky Sparkles 2025 collaboration with Sparkles by Monica. To check out all the other Spooky Sparkle tutorials for this collaboration. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It'll help my little channel grow. And I'll link down below in the description the products I used in this video if they are still available, as well as a tutorial playlist for more Halloween tutorials and inspiration. Have an awesome day.